Hello everyone and welcome back to my Beyond the Gates 24 official YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Nicole and her adjunct are agitating the philanthropist of the Dupree Heritage Foundation education. She wonders how she can conceivably choose from all the good kiddies. Just also, someone comes in asking Nicole to make a choice for the Lynx brunch. She walks to the other room and runs into her hubby, Ted. Nicole tells Ted about Bill moving into the neighborhood and the messy scene at the country club. He's irked he missed all the fireworks. She hopes Dani will be suitable to move on after the marriage is over and done. Just also, Ted says he has to get to the sanitarium to consult on a facial reconstruction. Nicole says their whoreson, Andre, will be stopping by the sanitarium to check out the sanitarium for the videotape memoir. Ted says he'll make sure he's available. Ted and Nicole decide to have a family gathering while he's in city. Haley arrives to see Nicole with Eiffels and Hitch. Nicole has no time for Haley, but she asks to be heard out. Haley says she's willing to forgive Dani's public demotion and is hoping Nicole will help her assimilate into Fairmont Crest. Nicole says her fidelity will always lie with her family. Haley says she's not a horrible person. Her fellowship with Naomi was real. She just fell in love with an inconvenient man. Nicole says Dani is the only bone who can offer Haley acceptance in the community. Everyone will follow her lead. With that, Nicole tells Haley to take her Eiffels and go. Vernon and Martin are agitating the mess with Dani slighting Haley at the club. Vernon isn't thrilled with Dani's response as violence isn't ever the answer. Martin says occasionally folks need a good smack. Vernon, California, and understand why Bill would conceivably suppose it's a good idea to move into Fairmont Crest with Haley. Vernon asks Martin about his home life, and he says everything is good. He's thrilled he's stable in the House of Representatives but is restless as he considers the coming challenge. He tells his forefather he's advantaged from his experience and wisdom. He'd no way be where he's were it not for his forefather. The Brace discusses Vernon's work in the civil rights movement and how awful it was history to hear Bessie tell him how important his work means to her and her family. Martin knows he hasn't always lived up to his forefather's norms. Vernon says nothing he has ever done could conceivably change how proud he's of his grandson. Vernon tells Ted that Anita was onto Bill from jump and wisely kept him at a distance. Vernon got too close and helped him start up his law establishment with his celebrity connections. Ted says he's always known Bill was a narcissistic snake. Vernon is glad he's gone. Dani is each in her passions as she looks at her marriage filmland. Just also, Anita arrives. Dani says she's been flashing back the good times. She knows Bill loved her and can't understand how she's been left in her house each alone. With that, Mammy pulls her son into a grasp. Dani aloud. She had herself together after staying the last 6 months for the divorce to finalize. She was blindsided when Bill and Haley reserved the country club and chose to live in Fairmont Crest. Anita tells Dani to flash back she's a Dupree woman and to channel her inner strength. Dani prodigies if she should move, but Anita says no Dupree will ever be pushed out of Fairmont Crest, the neighborhood erected by her forefather. Anita says Dani needs to be careful of the people she brings into their circle. Dani knows her mama means another man, but she has no time for that foolishness. All of her sweats will be concentrated on making Bill and Haley pay. Dani picks out fabulous clothes, Campo a shot and commences getting ready for battle. Ashley is at the office when her mama, Leslie, and Eva arrive to root her on. Ashley thanks her mama for her support, especially knowing how numerous offerings she made as a single mama. Eva says she's jealous of Ashley's ambition. They all agree Eva is doing great as hairstyling is an amazing occupation and no way goes out of favor. Leslie comments on Ashley's stable marriage to Derek and she agrees, saying everything seems to be falling into place. With that, the triad exit and leave Ashley to her nursing duties. As they enter the elevator, Ted arrives, leaving Leslie gaping at him. Shanice arrives to train Ashley and educate her the ropes. She'll be shadowing Shanice and wants Ashley to ask questions and take lots of notes. With that, they head out on rounds. Andre arrives and it's clear he and Ashley were kind of a thing before she got with Derek. From a distance, he takes her picture. Shanice arrives and says Andre is a player. Ashley says they're only musketeers. Shanice says Andre is a player and she needs to steer clear. Haley arrives and tells Bill about Dani's attack at the club. Bill wants to call Dani, but Haley tells him to stand down. It's her battle and he needs to let her handle the situation. Haley reviews her hassles with Vanessa, Dani, and Nicole and how she was smacked down at every turn. She allowed. Nicole, at the veritably least, would be objective since she's a psychiatrist, but to no mileage. Haley thinks perhaps they should cancel the country club marriage and elope to Vegas. Bill asks if it's still her dream to get married at the country club. She says it's and Bill says he'll fix everything. Martin arrives home and greets his hubby Smitty. Martin tells Smitty he was hanging out with his forefather, which reminds him of his heritage. He says espousing Samantha and Tyrell was the stylish decision they ever made, besides getting wedded. Tyrell seems to be going through commodity, and they decide to keep an eye on him. They bandy letting Samantha date at 16 times old. Smitty thinks they should give her authorization so there are no secrets. Bill arrives in Vernon, California and believe he'd show his face. He reluctantly invites him in and mentions the incident at the country club. He reminds him how alone in the world Haley is. She no way knew her father, Mama is gone and she has no siblings. Bill asks if Vernon could use his influence to get his family to attend the marriage and other members of the community. Vernon asks if he knows the Dupree women who want nothing to do with him or Haley. Bill understands and heads for the door. Before he leaves, Bill reminds Vernon how he did all kinds of favors for his family. He simply wants the same consideration. Vernon narrows his eyes as Bill makes his exit. Eva asks her mama if she's okay as she sounded distracted since they left the sanitarium. Leslie says she'll find a way and Eva doesn't need to be involved. Eva says she's formally involved and is ready to go. Leslie hates to put her son in an uncomfortable situation. Eva says her mama merited better than what she was put through all those times agone. She says she's each in. Anita returns home and Vernon fills her in about Bill's visit. He says they've a problem. Andre arrives to converse with Ted and Nicole. He's agitating the videotape he's going to shoot. Andre wants to check on Ted's private practice. Ted says Kat is there and will walk him around. With that, he exits. Ted tells Nicole how important Andre reminds him of his family who passed. Smitty says he knows when Martin is stressed because the dreams return. Martin says he doesn't flash back his dreams and avoids the content. Vernon tells Anita about Bill's citation of favors in the history. He says Bill sounded nearly humble in defense of Haley. That being said, Vernon knows Bill will use whatever means necessary to get what he wants. Anita says they must stand together to cover Martin. They join hands and agree. Dani storms into Bill's office where he's meeting with guests. She grabs his golf club, uses it to clear off his office, and calls him a sorry son of a whine. While Derek waited for Ashley to meet him out for their festivity date, Ashley and Andre were trapped in one of the sanitarium elevators with a woman going into labor. They realized they were going to have to deliver the baby right there and also. Ashley went into nanny mode. She was confident, decisive, and largely competent as she took control and successfully delivered the case's baby. Andre was probative, and the two clicked over this participated experience.